Hello, Egyptology lovers. Welcome back. I want to discuss a little bit of a project I've worked on. This used to be a clock that I've removed the glass cover, the hands, as well as the case. Removed the paper that actually had all the numbers, numerical, Roman numbers, and then cut out a papyrus paper, which is this real papyrus paper, and then made it the same size and put it on here. Then what I did was replace the numbers with hieratic numbers, which are equivalent to hieroglyphs, but they're cursive form. You could see 1, 2, 3, and so on to 6, so on to 9, and so on to 12. The clock moves in a proper form. So this is a functional clock when complete. So what you're seeing is the cosmological view of ancient Egyptian world. This is not an actual original image from anywhere you'll find in Egypt, but more of a modern concept. And it was inspired by Tito Vivas. He's an Egyptologist. So I saw him do a seminar online, and therefore I saw him kind of put out the sketch. I went a little bit further with detail, adding some extra things to it, but really this was his inspiration, and I just want to give credit to him. And I'll show you where I got the image from right here. So you could see there, that's his image, and he was doing a talk about it, and that's where I got the idea to make it. All right, continuing, we're just going to basically discuss as much as we can in a bit of detail of what's going on around here. So if you know your Egyptological, cosmological, and mythological creation myth, you would know that in the beginning there was nothing but chaos and what we call the waters of 𝓋🐽. So if you look over here, I've pretty much added the word for 𝓋 on the four corners here, just kind of put them all around to say that this is the outside here area is the waters of 𝓋. And then within 𝓋, there was a great snake, 𝓹𝓬𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬𝓹𝓬 wrapped around and goes all the way around. He actually enters the underworld to fight, or is within the universe and enters the world in order to fight Ra when he descends into the underworld and then rises again in the east. Now, in the creation myth, you have the god of Atum, who is a self-created god who creates two children. He creates the god of air, Shu, and the goddess of moisture. And you can see that's rain right over here, those lines. That's how they displayed them. And they had two children. They had the earth, the god Geb, so the earth itself. You could see the name for Geb is right over there, as well as the goddess Nut, who usually is seen as a canopy that is over our heads or over in the sky, and she had stars within her body all around, and sometimes the sun can be seen moving through it as well. Looking closer, you can see here the depiction of the sun god Ra in the horizon as he rises in the east and sets down into the west and then descends into the underworld where to fight the great snake and then comes back again. So it's a cycle that continues on and on. Over here, you could see in the east, there is the word for horizon. These are two lines that are known as 𝓹𝓴. They defend both the gates of the eastern and the risings, so the east and the west, so the rising and the setting, so the rising and the setting. So I've kind of displayed them both here on each end. This is the word for yesterday, and that is the word for 𝓹𝓴. This is the word for tomorrow, which being the next day. As it descends, it comes back to the next day. And here's the name of 𝓹𝓴 again. So you could see the eastern sun being 𝓹𝓴 as he rises, the scarab beetle as he kind of goes up in the sky. And then it turns to Ra. There is the falcon with the sun disk on his head. And they're all sailing on a boat because the sky was seen as a sort of a river or a Nile canopy. And then when he comes back down again, he descends into the underworld. You get what you see over here. You get Atum, who is the head of a ram. And he basically descends into the underworld. The underworld really was seen as some place of, let's say, caves and caverns where you would fight off many demons as a person once you died. And you would have to descend through many caves and caverns and many gates to get to basically to the afterlife. But within that there, and you can see that the word is known as duat for the underworld. So when the sun rises and then sets again, what it does is it has to descend the underworld where it will fight the great snake Apep. And this is a kind of a display showing how he basically is the last hour, or I think the 11th hour where he battles Apep, and the 12th hour is when he emerges over here in the east again and continues the cycle. All around the border here is what is known as the foreign lands. Egypt had the foreign lands, and that's displayed in the hieroglyph of mountains. So these are the foreign lands. In the center here, of course, you have Egypt itself. You have the over here, you have the Eastern Desert, and here you have the Western Desert, or the East Bank and the West Bank. Here you have Lower Egypt and Upper Egypt. And finally, I've given the total name of Egypt for being Tamari, or the beautiful land. It is also known as Kemet, the black land, referring to the north, the soil, or Deshret refers to the desert part of Egypt. One last point I'll show you here. So this has pretty much been oriented in a correct way. You have the east, the west, so the rising and the setting. And then you have the south and the north. And then you see here Egypt is facing south to north and the sun sets from east to west. I've even indicated here the west, that's the symbol of the west. Here is the symbol of the north. Here is the symbol of the east, and here is the symbol of the south. So that's pretty much what you're seeing in the image here. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please like, and of course, share with your friends and let them know that there's something like this. Once this is done, I'll show you the clock once it's completed, so stay tuned for the last 30 seconds. All right, now you're seeing the clock itself, so you could see how the hours are set up. It functions just as a clock, and it's a beautiful original papyrus project that's drawn on. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to put it up and see what it looks like, and that should be the last thing. Thanks for watching again, guys. Just stay tuned for the last bit, and that's it. And here you go. This is what it looks like mounted on the wall. Nice, beautiful clock, totally functional. And thanks for watching again. Hope you enjoyed. Take care.